Hey there, welcome back to the channel, Masters of the Universe Club. This is a book club episode, and my name is Keith Fredrickson. My goal with the book club episodes is to help you master your universe in bite-sized chunks. Every week I go chapter by chapter through a recommended book, and I discuss one small thing that inspired me and hopefully will inspire you to take action in your life. If you're listening to the audio version only, we are reading the book Sleep Smarter by Shawn Stevenson. Please buy the book through my affiliate link below. That will help the channel. Please read along with me and master your universe in the process. If you are interested in hearing a more deep dive discussion, you can consider joining my Patreon, which will be linked in the description, or you can join the Patreon just to support the channel more so if you are inclined to do so. Now, guess what? We've gone through the entire book. There is an episode for every single chapter of this book. There's a short episode for every single chapter in this book, and we're up to the last section of the book, which is actually not a chapter. It's the 14-day sleep makeover. Shawn goes step by step and leads you through and recommends processes for every day for 14 days. Now listen to that. Well, actually, before I go on, I really wanted to do as many shows as I possibly could while I'm out in the woods because I like the backdrop. But the day is overcast, and there's actually so much cloud cover. I'm sorry, not cloud. Well, cloud cover actually, yes. And also there's so much canopy here that there's quite a bit of light being blocked, so I'm not able to get the lighting that I need. So I apologize for that. But the show must go on because I do these always. I just read the chapter and I do them very impromptu. But I do want to say that we are through the entire book. This is the last This is the last video I'll make, and this is the last section of the book, which is the 14-day sleep makeover. So I'm going to read the intro of the last section. The 14-day sleep makeover. Humans are creatures of habit and habitat. Now, I love that. Creatures of habit and habitat. And I love that those words are related. I never realized that until reading it. We've covered how to make your environment more sleep-friendly, how to put your body in the ideal state for sleep and before bed, even practices to calm your mind to put you in the mood for restful sleep. Now it's time to put these things together in a succinct pattern that really works for you in the long term. Your brain loves to fall into patterns so that it can free up space to do other things. The more conscious competencies we have, the more apt we are to have greater success and productivity. What is an unconscious competency? Well, there are ultimately 4 stages to learning any new skill or habit. Unconscious incompetence is when you're doing something wrong and you don't know you're doing it wrong. That's called unconscious incompetence. You gotta love that. Conscious incompetence means you're doing something wrong and you know you're doing it wrong. Conscious competence is when you're doing something right, but you have to consciously focus on it to do it the right way. And finally, unconscious competence, when you're doing something right and you don't even think about it. That's called unconscious competence. I'll read that again. When you're doing something right and you don't even have to think about it. So, Shawn goes on. Initially, putting the things that you've learned in this book into action will place you in a phase of conscious competence. So, initially, putting the things that you've learned into this book into action will place you in a phase of conscious competence, which means that you're conscious of what you're doing. You have to concentrate to do them right. And you know what's right because you've read the book. You're going to have to think about them to put conscious effort into doing them right. Now, I just want to stop here for a second. So he explains this up front because he wants you to know that actually it's going to take work, which is fine. And this is a 14-day sleep makeover. But I have a personal reaction to the 14-day sleep makeover because you have agency over what you do in your life. Okay, we all do. We don't have to do, he outlines all these steps to do, and he has tips every day. And he probably has a really good reason for doing it over 14 days, right? But the way I look at it is that you don't have to take 14 days, right? Each day could be a month. Each day could be 2 days. Each day could be a week. Each day could be a month. Each day that he recommends here could be a year. You can take it slow. You can build the habit slowly. And each one of these things will be beneficial to you, and each one of his recommendations will be beneficial to you, and you can gradually get to a place where you are in a place of unconscious competence, where you're no longer having to think about it. Now, this is a very long section of the book, and he has questionnaires to get started. He has lots of stuff about tips for each part of the process. He has a feedback journal for each day. So there's a questionnaire to start the day. And then, like I said, there's tips for each day, and this goes on for 14 days. Okay, and it's long. And actually, there's a bonus materials where you don't have to actually use the book. You can print it up and have a PDF. Okay, which is great, because if you decide to do day one over and over again for a week or 2 weeks or a month, you can print 20 copies of the thing or 30 copies of the thing or whatever the case may be. Okay, so that would be my suggestion, is to take it at your pace. And this is the last thing I'm going to read from this book, and I love this book. By completing this 14-day sleep makeover, you have effectively upgraded the function of your hormones, improved your genetic expression, and created a solid foundation for the future. It's not what you do sometimes, but what you do consistently that tells the real story of your results. A wonderful quote from Samuel Johnson states, "The chains of habit are too small to be felt until they are too small to be broken." I'm going to read that again. Samuel Johnson states, I feel like saying that the way I just said it makes me feel like Ted Lasso. But I'm going to read it again. This is from Samuel Johnson. "The chains of habit are too small to be felt until they are too strong to be broken." So you have to be mindful about what habits you have in your life. Many of these habit changes may seem small in retrospect, but you are working to literally make them a part of who you are. By choosing to sleep smarter and put these strategies in place on a consistent basis, you are stacking so many conditions in your favor that it will make getting greater results inevitable. Okay? This is a hopeful statement, and I think that if you were to buy this book, read it, absorb it, put these practices into process, I'm getting bit by mosquitoes out here, it will change your life. I'm fairly confident of that. And I just want to read one thing want to reread actually one thing. By doing the sleep makeover, or maybe not specifically doing the exact makeover, but by implementing everything he recommends in this book, you have upgraded the function of your hormones, which do everything in your body. You've improved your genetic expression, which also does everything. So think about cancer, right? You're thinking about some serious stuff. Sleep will get you there. And created a solid foundation for the future. So you know what? That's it. We're done with Sleep Smarter. And I'm so glad we read it, and I really love this book. So with that said, I am excited for the next book. And I haven't chosen it yet, but I'm super psyched to choose it, and I really I'm so excited to continue this process with you. Please buy the book through my affiliate link to help my channel. Read along with me. Master your universe in the process. We're not going to do just health. I mean, we're going to do a lot of health stuff, but we're going to cover lots of subjects in this channel. If you want to hear a more deep dive discussion, please consider joining my Patreon, which will be linked in the description. And finally, if there's a book that changed your life, please leave it in the description, or please leave it in the comments, and I will put it on my list to read. Thank you so much for going on this journey with me. Until next time.